Hey, I'm Sapphire. Want to hear something scary? The Bubak.
The following story is based on a submission from Anastasia. In Spain in the 1990s, there lived a 12-year-old girl named Lucia. She lived on a farm surrounded by fields with her two parents. Every other weekend or so, her parents had to go into town for different business reasons, conventions, conferences, what have you. Lucia was much too young to tag along with them, so they would leave her at home where her cousin Emily would babysit. Emily was only 3 years older than Lucia, so she would always protest. "Why do I even need a babysitter? I'm old enough to watch myself." But her parents disagreed. Lucia probably wouldn't have minded this as much if she actually liked her cousin. But Emily loved to play pranks on her. She'd always try to scare her with monster stories or try to convince her that her toys were possessed. So it was a Friday morning, and Lucia's parents had left, leaving Lucia and Emily alone on the farm. Emily was going to make them breakfast, so she asked Lucia to gather some eggs from the hens. Lucia walked over to the coop and noticed something in the corner of her eye. In the middle of the field was a scarecrow. It hadn't been there before, so Lucia was positive it was just one of her cousin's pranks. She rolled her eyes and went to get the eggs. She didn't mention to Emily that she saw the scarecrow. She was just going to ignore it. The next morning, Lucia went to gather more eggs for breakfast. The scarecrow was still there, in the field. Lucia chuckled to herself, entertained by her cousin's attempts to scare her. When she gathered the eggs and walked back to the house, she stopped in her tracks. The scarecrow was now much closer than it was before. "Okay, that got me," Lucia chuckled to herself. She didn't notice it before because it was so far away, but Lucia was shocked by how ugly it was. She grabbed an egg and threw it at its grotesque face. She pranced into the kitchen and placed the bucket of eggs on the counter. "I'll admit it, that scarecrow's pretty good," Lucia said. Emily looked up from the pan. "What are you talking about?" "You can stop the act, cousin. How long did it take you to make that?" Emily turned the stove off and wrinkled her brow. "Where did you say you saw the scarecrow?" "It's right where you last left it, at the edge of the field." Emily rushed over to the window and looked around. Lucia skipped up behind her and looked out as well. But the scarecrow was gone. "Whoa, how'd you do that?" Emily hastily pulled the curtain closed and pulled Lucia to the ground, lowering her voice to a whisper. "Lucia, are you familiar with the Bubak?" You are